Boom, boom. This is Kendra. Everybody, welcome back to the channel. All right, we got a little bit of Bleach up today. So we've got a new character coming here. So let's go ahead and take a look at what she's got. Just kind of get an idea of what she could be used for, and whether or not she'll be something character that you want to spend a little bit of Soul Jade on, or in that. So we've got Haniko. So she's a bird, a vermilion bird. For those of you looking for a bird for your soul hole team. So let's go ahead and take a look at her info. So she is a support reduced, so she's a tank. Support reduced heal rate. She's got a pretty good talent, which is increase the attack and def of all male characters by 4%. So even if you don't want to star her up for use, you might want to consider doing so just to actually get this talent, because 4% is quite a large talent rate, and that's going to go up as you star her. So let's take a look at what we got. So we've got smoke bomb combo, deals damage to a single enemy with a 40% chance to stun the target for 1 round, decreases the target's damage reduction rate by 15% for 2 rounds. That's a pretty nice specs, because this just happens, as a standard strike. So the stun, a 40% chance to stun, so you can probably see that proccing often, and then I guess this is guaranteed with the target's damage reduction rate by 15%. It's only going to be on one person though, so it's not like it's going to be affecting a back row or anything like that. So the rage deals damage to the enemy front row and reduces all targets' healing received rate by 40% and damage reduction rate by 15% for 2 rounds. So she's going to she's going to be reducing the enemy's damage that they do to you, so damage reduction rate. The percentages, that's not a bad percentage. I think Catwoman encouragement, all allies for 1 round after weapons. Okay, so basically, that basic attacks and mastery skills deal additional damage, so as well as reducing the damage you're going to be receiving. She's going to actually have a little bit of boost to the mastery skills, basic attacks and mastery skills. So that's pretty much most of it. Deal to not to exceed 100%, so there's a limit to that. It's not a bad skill. The problem is, at this point in the game, healing's not that much. It's not being used that much. So reducing the healing rate at this point is not very useful, because, like I say, there's just not much healing going on. None of the teams, upper teams in the PvP, and none of the upper teams that use in this story have a healer. Now, at the rate that the story mode is increasing, it's increasing at a rapid rate. The damage and the hit points of the enemy is increasing at a rapid rate. So in the future, there may be a need for some healing. It would not surprise me in the slightest. I've got the best healer in the game right now, which is Orihime. Christmas version Orihime, not base version. Christmas Orihime is the best. Unohana is the second best. She's an SSR. And then you've got Orihime original version, which is an SR. But yeah, Orihime Christmas version is a UR character, and she's got the best support and the best healing in the game right now. I do have her, and I do have the capability to bring her up to 4-star if needed, and start utilizing her. So, just playing the long game there. And then this right here passively increases the character's hit points. So an increase of 7, of course, that's standard. And then we've got the passive skill. Haniko has increased damage reduction rate. Okay, so damage reduction. Attacking grants Haniko 1 stack of cat cutting to a maximum of 3 stats. Haniko's rage attack grants her a shield. Okay, there's the tank. That's the reason she's a tank, is because it gets a shield. Damage equal to 15% of her total hit points. While Haniko is on the field at the start of each ally character round, she randomly dispels all immobilizing effects on 1 immobilized ally. And that cat cutting decreases all damage taken by 8%. Okay, yeah, so she's got she's got some use. Not something that I think that at this point in the game would be useful in terms of using her, but and the fact that she's a vermilion bird you know, that would have to, I'd have to replace Sassy, and Sassy's one of the best in the game right now in terms of just utilization. Increase the attack and def of all male characters by 4%. So this is a very good talent, as I said before. So that might be a reason that you might want to bring her up in the future. So we should see her. She posted. So we should see her in a few days. So now this is going to be a standard new character. She's 2-star. So that means 30 will be what you need to get her. Once you get her, then you can use Omni Shards if you want to. So you definitely want to try to get her just to have her. Okay, so if you look at the characters, if you look at the character screen here, you see that she has 2 stars. These are some of the characters that were introduced in this new character. You can see they're still 2 stars. So anytime you see a 2-star character, you're looking at a new character that's being released, UR version, and she's going to be a special event for her. So you're going to have to use these. So you want to hold on to these because these are usable. You can use this, the summons to actually summon for the new character whenever she pops up. And then, of course, you can use Soul Jade, of course, afterwards. So I don't really think at this point in time. I mean, she, you know, nice character design and whatnot, but I don't really see a usefulness at this point. In the future, if healing becomes something that's really needed, then yeah, but you don't see healing. You don't see. You see, she's going to reduce the heal rate of the enemy. You don't see the enemy healing themselves. Okay, it might, you know. So I really don't, you know. I really don't see where that's going to be something that will be that useful at this point. It may very well become extremely useful. I mean, as we go through the story mode here, healing might become something that's, you know, needed. Like I said, the story mode is just the damage rate being dealt is increasing at an extremely fast pace. We're not even if they continue to do story mode chapters based on the anime, we're about halfway through. So we conceivably have 50 chapters, and consider the damage that they're doing right now. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to beat the game at chapter 50, because it's just going to be way past what you know, the damage that can be dealt out. We're already seeing a lot of discrepancies in their leveling and the way they level up the story modes, how each chapter, you have a few, you know, sections that just don't look right. I mean, just in this last chapter alone, there are several that are way out of scope for what you have. So the next video I do, we're going to go ahead and jump into the event stages, because what we want to try to do is we want to try to I've got a couple chapters in here, a couple sections that I haven't been able to complete. They're only at 2 stars. So we've got 6 and we've got 10. Actually, I think 10 is actually going to be easier to beat than this one. Sassy's in this one. Sassy's become a Bane. He was a Bane in not the last chapter, but the chapter, I think it was the chapter before that. He's ridiculously overpowered due to the fact that he's got to revive, and he comes back, and it's usually more than half of his health. Not to mention the fact that his DOT, because of the poison that he dishes out, is just ridiculous. And he starts raging immediately, and he continues to rage. So you have to kill him, and he's not hiding. He's the only one there, so it's not like there's anything you have to do special. This one right here is just I almost beat this. I mean, I beat them all, but I want a 3-star. The problem is the damage. You can't lose more than 2 people. If you lose more than 2 people, it's over. Lost 3 on this one, and lost 3 on this one. Very, 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 very close to beating this one. And this is the one I mainly want to beat, because this is the one that allows me to take Iroquois to green 6. Everybody in my team is green 6 except for him. So I want to actually get this. So what I'm going to do next video is we're going to jump in and we're going to start looking at the elite stages. Completing these elite stages will allow you to level up all of your weapons and your items. So basically, you just get another level on your weapons and items, and I'll be able to 3-star that, and it should open up the next chapter as well, because we do have a chapter. So we'll just have to see. But yeah, so we'll go into these next week. I just wanted to point out that there was a new character coming, so you might want to save up on your soul jade if you don't have a lot of tokens. If you have summons tokens, then you can use those. You can see I have 99, so I won't even have to dip into my soul jade at this point. So I got a DM yesterday about what I was going to do in the future for my account. I have 2 priorities at this point. The first priority is Dango Ichigo, getting him up to 5-star. And the second priority is bringing up Anniversary Ichigo up for Squad Boss and for Karakura Town. So, and then we'll have to see from that point on exactly what we want to do. So if you take a look at Dango Ichigo, promotion for him is going to be, I believe it's going to be 150. So I already got 10, so I need 140. I got like 89 Omni shards right now, but once the Karakura channel event is over, I'm going to be purchasing a bunch of these. So I'm going to have another 20 or so of Omni shards, and that'll get me up to about 120, which will put me close. So what I've decided to do, I was originally going to focus on getting Dan Gachika, but I think I want to go ahead. I was originally going to do him first, but I've decided to go ahead and bring him up to 5, and then I'll start worrying about this, because he's actually in the team and he's doing really well. His damage, he's only at 4 stars while all the others are at 6. I mean, that means that he's once I get him up to 6, a 6-star, he's going to be doing out some serious damage. So that's why I want to go ahead and take him up, because enhancement of that gives you a pretty big boost. Okay, I have to get him to 98. The cap has increased, so as you can see, the cap increased. I think was it day before yesterday? It was either yesterday or the day before yesterday. So, and as you can see, already in just a couple of days, I've already got it to right there. So I'll be able to move it up. By the time I do have enough of the Omni shards to actually bring him up, like I said, I need 140. So I need 51 more to actually do it. By the time I get those shards, I should be very close to 98, and then I can enhance him up 1 level. I noticed that yesterday when they did the change that they'd increased the promotion. Normally promotion was not something that you want to do, so I'll be able to promote him, but yeah, I noticed that they were locking enhancements behind levels. That's the first time I'd actually seen that. I thought that was really interesting in terms of I didn't think that once we got up to this level we would have enhancements that were forcing things up. But now that they've increased the level, they've also increased the level enhancements, even at this high enhancement. Normally when a game gets to a certain level, they don't lock character enhancements behind a level, but they are apparently in this game. So it's not a big deal. Getting the experience to level up is very, very simple. Plus, I'm going to have to complete the elites, and that's going to give me some, and then so by the time I'll have to complete the elites, and then I'll have to do the story mode. Okay, and then once I've done the story mode, I'll then have the mats to do this. So I'll easily be a level 98 by that time, and then we'll be taking it up to the next level, which we will call white, white 1. Okay, So that's the next step, taking all my characters to white 1. I knew they were going to have to come out with something. They had green 6. I mean, this is supposed to be Prism, I believe is what they call it. It looks green to me, so that's what I'm going to call it. This, we've already got the blue down on the early stages there. I think it goes green and then blue. So we don't want to use blue, so we'll have to use white. So we use white 1 and go from there. But yeah, I should easily be at 98. So they are locking the enhancements behind the level, which is not a big deal. To get the enhancements, to get these enhancement materials to take you to white 1, you're going to need to be at level 98. Okay, seriously doubt if you're not at level 98, you're not going to be able to get these mats that you need. It's just out of reach. Okay, with the way that the story mode is, because that's the only place to get the mats is through the story mode. You're going to need to actually be at max level or close to max level to actually do it. So, by the time I get these mats, I'll be at 98 easily. I think they've taken the cap all the way up to 100. I think. I can't remember what they said, but which is good. That's where we want to be. That's, I think, as high as they're going to go. At least I think that's as high as they're going to go. At least if you look at the growth plan, which like as I've said in many videos, I did purchase. 100 is where the growth plan stops. Okay, this is the last level in the growth plan. So I knew they were going to go to 100 because that was in the growth plan, but there does not appear to be anything above that. So if you want to do that, then it's a good way to get all 50,000 soul jade. But like I say, I don't know what its price is now. When I did it, it was $19.99, but I jumped back on when the game first started. So that's my current. That's the current. As far as I can plan ahead, that's as far as I can plan ahead. So I'm going to get Haniko, but I'm not going to use her at this time. However, I will keep an eye on her simply because of the fact that her talent is extremely useful. Any type of talent that does something for all male characters, because if you look, they're all male. My entire team is male, which means that it's going to be useful for my team. A 4% damage attack and hit point. Yeah, that's very, very good. Very high percentage. And it's a percentage, which means that it's not like a flat rate. It's a percent of whatever you currently have. So that's pretty good. So, as you increase, the something about flat rates is they're flat, and that means that they're static. This is, as you start, you can get an increase in that. So, and it's a percentage increase too. So it's something that we definitely want to look at. But yeah, I don't see her being extremely useful at this point. But I think later in the game, she might very well be something that you're going to see. You might come across something in story mode where there's a lot of healing. The enemy's healing themselves. When she's going to hit this reduction rate, and basically you don't get healed. Whenever that character tries to heal its other characters, the characters that are under the effect aren't going to, they're not going to be healed as much as they normally would be. It's going to be extremely reduced due to the skills she's popping out. So it's got it's going to be useful, I think. So just have to keep an eye on it. So she does reduce the heal rate, and I'm definitely going to go ahead and get her. And she's the only one that it's been announced. So we should see her in a couple of days. My assumption is at the end of the character town event, we will probably see her come up. So this is only going to be running for another 3 days. So expect her to probably pop up in 3 days. They'll do an update at the 3rd day, and in the morning of the 4th, this will disappear. She'll be up. That's what I would assume. We'll see in terms of that. And we'll just have to go from there. Now, the Karakurt event is, I'm actually having some pretty good luck on this. I actually managed to get 19 today. I've been consistently getting 19. And as you can see, what I like to do my comparisons to is I always do my comparisons to the most powerful person on the server, which is him. So the fact that I'm getting 19 lets me know And you know, he's the power. She's probably second. I'll just get two characters there. So as you can see, based on this is a good way to check it. Yeah, he's one of the top ones too. So I know that I'm definitely near the top, and then I'm doing as much damage as I should be doing. So if you're ever wondered about whether or not your character is, if your team's good, if you're doing well, there's places to check, and the best place to check is with your squad. Okay, I mean, you can do in the squad. You can do the squad boss. Okay, you can check the logs on the squad boss and see what the other people are doing. Okay, you can check the logs and see. I had a horrible amount of damage today. I'm not exactly sure. Yesterday I got like 98, and today I don't know what's going on with that. But that's a way to do, is to check and see how much everybody else is pulling out. I noticed that this is very bad down because we got people, Nasser normally gets about the same that I do, and she went through the same thing I did. So I think the squad, yeah, Miguchi does, yeah. This is definitely everybody's doing the same thing. I guess this squad boss, the weekend squad boss, always seems to be a little bit tougher. Not exactly sure why, but he is. But you can check the logs there, and you can also check the logs in the character town. And if you're seeing people at the same level as you, and you're doing roughly the same amount of damage as they are, you know that you basically have a good team. One of the things that I noticed that a lot of people don't do is they don't focus on the soul hall, and you need to focus on the soul hall. And it's amazing what you can get. I am using the Genesis Soul Hall with Tensei Zangetsu, and this gives you decreases the damage taken by allies in the first round by 40%. So that's the first 2 rounds, a 40% decrease in the damage you're going to take. This is extremely useful inside of PvP, as well as the damage rate of plus 10%. That's its max. I mean, anything more would be ridiculously overpowered. But so, you know, that's just the dragon. I mean, all of the soul halls, all of them have a focus character. So find out, you know, make a choice under which one you want, and then find out which character it is that is associated with that. And that's, you know, that's what you want. And the tiger's also a fairly good one. This runs off a Halibel. So you might want to work on focusing on a Halibel. It gives you that same 40, and at the end of the round, the damage rate of all, and so you give it another 4%. Okay, so that's a really good one as well too. Understand though, the reason I like you're going to find teams heavy with Dragon. The reason you're going to find teams heavy with Azure Dragon is because Azure Dragons, if you focus right on their wool souls, you can get them to rage instantly. When I rage on my first strike, Tensei Zangetsu, Dangai Ichigo, White Ichigo, and Full Hollow Ichigo all rage immediately out of the gate. Okay? And then the next round, Yokora and Asazi rage. So my 3 toughest characters rage almost immediately. So right out of the gate, first shot, bam, they rage. So that's why you'll see people a lot heavy on Azure Dragons. Some of the White Tigers can do it, but not as many, because the way the War Soul's set for the White Tiger does not promote rage. If you look at the character, so let's take a look at a dragon. So we got dragon, White Ichigo is a tiger, and then we've got a dragon. Okay. Now, if you take a look at White Ichigo, if you look at his War Soul, okay, when an ally dies, 100% rage is regenerated. When an enemy dies, at 100% of the rage is 175%. Okay, so that's his stat. Okay, so that's his soul, and that's what his does. Now, if you look at that, it's a dragon recovers 400 rage when battle begins. So you automatically get 400 rage when the battle starts. And each time the battle starts, okay, when battle begins, you get 400. So they immediately proc. So dragons are going to proc. Any dragon you got in your team, if you level this up, max this out, it's going to proc, okay? White Ichigo procs all the time. He procs at the beginning of the fight. Even though he's a white tiger, he's always done that. Everybody who has white Ichigo should have him proccing almost immediately. Okay, and he will proc quite often throughout the battle, which is one of the reasons I consider him probably to be. I consider him actually to be one of the most powerful characters in the game. Okay, which is why I went ahead and put one of my best War Souls on him, which is a War Soul of Wrath. He just hits everybody, does a ton of damage, does a ton of crit damage. So, even though he's a Generation 1 character, he's still, I consider to be one of the most powerful. And what I mean by Gen 1 and Gen 1, like Tensei Zangetsu is a Gen 2, Dengai Ichigo is a Gen 2. White Ichigo, Sazi, and Full Hollow Ichigo and Akora. Actually, this is version 2 of Akora, so this is actually Gen 2 considered. But these three are actually considered Gen 1. Gen 2 is any of the characters that came out after the initial offering within a fairly short time. That's what everybody. So there started to be these Gen 1 and Gen 2 characters, and people complain about other people using a Gen 1 character, and I'm like, there's Gen 1 characters that are very good. Okay, what they mean is usually it's a fact that in gacha games, whenever new characters come out, they tend to make those characters that they make the characters useful. They make them stronger. This is what happened in Danmachi when Warrior Freeze, is the fact that there's now 3 levels of characters. There's the original characters that they came out with, which are useless now because they were overrated and overshadowed by the second generation characters. Now the second generation characters are being overshadowed by the third generation characters. So you've got really nice characters that everybody was loved and popular with back in Gen 1 that are completely useless now. You can't use them in a game. And they did not bring them up. And that's why a lot of people stopped playing the game. It's why I stopped playing the game. I did not have time to continually make new teams every year or so, every 7-8 months make a new team. I didn't have time to do that. So it just became monotonous, and it was no longer fun because I wasn't able to use the characters that I wanted to use. So this is not like that. Bleach is not like that at all. Bleach is very, very good. There are still Generation 1 characters that are still useful. There's even some SSR characters that are still useful in terms of Soifan, Unohana. So they're out there. And that's what I like about the game. It has done a very good job of pacing everything so that it matches and stays, nothing gets too out of shape. The dynamic is extremely regulated, and I like that about this game. So you don't have to worry about making a new team, every year. Make a new team because, the new characters are overshadowing the older characters. Not a place. Don't see that happening at all. I'm still using Gen 1 characters. Okay? So, yeah. So just check, compare in the squad boss and compare in the... Just check the logs, and the logs will tell you what your damage is. They give you the information to make a choice about, is your team functional or is it not. Focus on a soul hall, set that up. That'll give you one of the biggest buffs, the most useful buffs in the game, and then just build around it. Okay? And don't be scared to bring up new characters like I'm doing. I'm bringing up Dengai Ichigo. I'm going to bring up Anniversary Ichigo. And I probably will bring up another nuker. A single target nuker. Okay, I'm going to look through my teams after I finish with Anniversary Ichigo and see if I have another nuker that might be useful to bring up. Because that's what you want to do. One of the ones that I was really looking at is actually Yurichi, just simply because I really like Yurichi, and the fact that she's an attacker. So she might be something to bring up. I think pretty sure that she's a nuker. So Rage is attack the current one target. So receives 100 each Shungo attack, reduces the target's damage. This effect gets stacked 3 times. So she can do multiple attacks on one character, which is really good. Okay. And they ignore 30% of the target depth. So she hits like a ton. So I was seriously considering maybe bringing her up next. I really like Yurichi. Okay. I just love the design of her character big time. So I'm actually probably, if I don't see another nuker, it's either going to be her. I'm also having some, I'm really considering actually starting to focus uh, on Kasashini. Kasashini is straight nuker all the way around. Okay. Focuses on the enemy with the highest attack. So the strongest character you got is what he's going to attack. Makes him extremely useful. So it's probably going to be, he would be more useful. Kazushini would be more useful for my team. I'm not going to, in any way, shape, or form, try to tell you that he would not be. Just like Yurichi. So we'll have to see about that. But maybe I'll try to bring them up, both of them up. But I don't really have the match to do that. But we'll have to see. All right, so that's the video. I just want to let everybody know that Haniko's coming out. Save your soul jade. Save your tokens if you're going for her. All right? So again, thanks a lot for watching the video. Remember to subscribe. Once you subscribe, you'll see that bell. If you click on that bell, you get notified each time I drop a video. Also, remember to share and view the channel as it does help the channel immensely. So this is Kenner coming at you from the corner, signing out.